l'âme vacarme s'en va dans l'oubli éternam et Gustave dom guardiam dilim didididilam lutes sera dorilom seram
Welcome to Club Doom. As of late, Slaughterhouse Cannibalism is doing the same as they're doing roughly the same, but we might check in on them tonight. Might as well.
Bitch, name Melissa. Still I'm going, no switch. Shots will come in the bitch. I take the time, get me rich. Got the bus, so we take. Dog from brown to the cat. Made a deal from the stack. This shit got a deal for the bag. Hit the bitch from the back. Say you run with the bag. Mix my face with that shit. You say that you bring the fuck back. Say I'm always so cold. Told the story to know. In the facts that I say, I live in the north of the
Yo, you doing better, Metal Beast? That sucks to hear, dude. I hope you're doing better.
Fuck you niggas, I'm already done. Already done. I'm already done. Fuck you niggas, I'm already done. Never shit fun.
We might do vampires tonight. I don't know. I'm hoping to do a longer stream than normal tonight. I am, because there's a lot of shit that I wanna get through.
Dans le silence et
Nigga, you ain't saying nothing. Nigga, you ain't saying nothing. I get it out the muscle, nigga, you ain't saying nothing. I'm a grown ass woman. I ain't a stranger to the struggle, nigga, you ain't saying nothing. I hustle like my mama. A bitch been seeing commas, been bringing the trunk load for the clothes to dress the whole pot, man. I need nines to the dollar, you know about the feeling. Fuck it till she lose feeling. That's why she ain't got feelings, cold hearted, independent. My best bitch left and started stripping. I ain't seen it in a minute. Middle finger to my daddy. My sucker had to fuck my man. Left us and he traumatized us badly. Created him a savage. Hustle hard just to get cabbage. Cause growing up a bitch never had it. What you know about struggle? In them stoves, get it off the muscle. Boyfriend always wanna tuckle. Mama gotta work a double. Police knocking, we in trouble. Fuck. Nigga, I ain't telling nothing. Nigga, you ain't saying nothing. Nigga, you ain't saying nothing. I get it out the muscle, nigga, you ain't saying nothing. I'm a grown ass woman. I ain't a stranger to the struggle, nigga, you ain't saying nothing. Nigga, you ain't saying nothing.
I'm gonna be real with y'all, chat. Sometimes I use these beginning music segments as like an opportunity to quick eat dinner before I stream. Like I just down like a whole thing of KFC just now while we was bumping this music. You know, sometimes I can't fit in dinner in my schedule. Know what I'm saying? Hey, what's up? Thissa, what's good? With the 2. RTJ Creon Alchemist remix stuck in my head. I might have to check that out. Okay, we still got the music segment going on.
When I'm in the club, yeah, I'm
Yeah, we got a lot of good shit, chat. We got a lot of good shit. A lot of good shit. Let's check out this Run the Jewels, Creon, Alchemist remix.
Any cat will tell you the word for great taste is meow.
Kitty, every kitty I ever met loves you, so bring him in and I'll look after him. $15 for each kitty.
Any cat will tell you the word for great taste is meow.
Oh, yeah, Bubbles!
Different areas to play. The land of mice.
Any cat will
Down
tell
with
you
the
the word for
shame,
great
down
taste
with
is
the
meow.
shame. Used to walk traps in the rain with cocaine. Used to write raps in the traps as I sat in the rain, and I pray that God give me a lane, give me a lane, give me the fame, give me the fame, and I promise to change. Won't be the same kind of man that puts cocaine in this lady hang. Heard she was pregnant, I'm guilty, I reckon, cause I hear that this shit could hurt baby's brain. Heard he was normal till 3 and then he stopped talking. Since then ain't nothing been the same. Seen her some years later out in Decatur, told her that I'm sorry for
Denzel
causing her
Curry
pain.
drop?
Causing me pain, causing me pain.
Like a song or like an album or a mixtape? I know he was on a song with like ASAP Ferg and some other person recently. Is it part of that?
My late grandma Betty had prayed with her heavy and told her to tell me lay my burdens down. Can't pick up no crown, holding what's holding you down. Can't pick up no crown, holding what's holding you down. Can't pick up no crown, can't pick up no crown.
Bring him in and I'll
I
look
keep
after
hearing
him.
about Mugenics.
$15 for each kitty. I take 15 of them.
Down with the shame, down with the shame.
Carry the flag in some other man's name. Loaded my weapon and swore to them vengeance to step with aggression right into the fray. Into the haze.
He dropped an
into the
album,
murk.
a whole
Told me
broad.
to do that what I was
Yo,
worth. We'll teach you to move without mercy and give you the tools to go after the
hell
causes of
yeah.
hurt. You'll be
Well, that's
content.
definitely something we're gonna have to check out this weekend.
You've ever loved. Use all the pain that you felt in your life as the currency. Go out and trade it for blood. You are not you. You are now us. We are the only ones that you can trust. You'll become fear. They'll become dust. Before this moment, you didn't mean much. You are the smoldering vessel of punishment born to do nothing but justify us. Give us your empathy, we'll give you lust. Let yourself go, my son, time to grow up. Give up your childish obsession with questioning anything we don't tell you is irrelevant. Everything you've ever been is replaced by the metal and fire of the weapon you clutch.
Can't pick up no crown, holding what's holding you down. Can't pick up no crown, holding what's holding you down. Can't pick up no crown, can't pick up no crown.
Meow.
Hey, cat, one more time.
It's definitely an interesting song. Definitely a very interesting song. I like that. I like that. Oh, man. Have peeped the latest Steam Next Fest. Oh, Steam Next Fest? Hold up, you telling me Steam got like some kind of like Steam Direct shit going on and I never heard about it until just now? God, I live under a rock. God, I live under a rock. God damn. That the case. Jesus. Okay, so chat. Let me give you all the rundown of what I'm gonna aim to do tonight. Alright? So we were watching Hugbee's video about tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills. I think we're gonna try to run that from the jump, right? Start that, and then let's see, we gonna watch a bit more of Sean C react to this notoriously bad cipher. Again, something else from last stream, right? We gonna watch that too. And then we also had Crap Guide to D&D, the character sheet. Cause I don't know how to make a character sheet, cause I'm big stupid. Alright. So those are the three things. Those are three things from last stream that I wanna either run from the top or continue. And then after that, there's okay. Hold up. This has been my hyperfixation. I'm gonna show y'all my new hyperfixation that started like literally just 2 days ago. So, ever since DBZ Abridged ended, ever since Team 4 Star, like, stopped making DBZ Abridged, as far as, like, funny, dubbed, abridged parody anime goes, I ain't been able to find shit. I ain't been able to find shit that is worth my time. People just do not know how to write comedy these days, I guess. That is, until I found, recently, Hood JJK. Hood Jujutsu Kaisen. This has been my... I fucking love these. I love these. So, like, just look at the thumbnails. All the thumbnails are money spreads. All the thumbnails are money spreads. This is it. And I love Gojo's whole character in this parody is that he's rich. That's it. That's right. He's rich and he flexes on everybody. And he's always trying to go band for band on people. Like, just...
It's always you broke ass gas station tea wearing niggas that ruin the function.
Low-key, Jogo over here. That's Gojo. That's Jogo. He do be wearing what look like a gas station tee. He do look like he working as a cross guard or some shit. It's always you gas station tea wearing asses.
It's always you broke ass gas station tea wearing niggas that ruin the function for everybody.
Band for band there, fuck nigga.
Band for band?
Oh, what's this?
That's a whole $300 bottle of D.
If you're not familiar with Jujutsu Kaisen, this is literally a scene where the character here, Gojo, like, aura farms someone to death. He aura farms them to death. He aura farms this cursed spirit named Hanami to death. But in here, it's his cologne.
Band for band? Oh, what's this? That's a whole $300 bottle of Dior slathered on a Gucci button-up. Something your broke-ass nostrils ain't accustomed to. But you want to go band for band with nothing but a teak wood essence. Oh, it's so strong.
Not the Bath and Body
Get your
Works.
paper!
Not the Bath and Body Works. I will say, though, an entire bottle of Dior slathered on a shirt is fucking insane. Band for band? Not the Bath and Body Works. Yeah. So we might have to watch some Hood JJK. Oh my god, the one scene where Toto has to the one scene where Toto has to chop off his own hand because Mojito touched him. And he's like, oh man, I can feel the broke ass spreading. I can feel the brokenness spreading. This broke ass touched me. Shit had me dead. So that might be another thing. That might just have to be another thing we react to. Add it to the queue. Add it to the queue. We have to add Hood JJK to the queue because it is peak. Alright. I am so down. There's a new Baku. Oh yeah, I did see. I did see there was a new Baku upload recently. Okay. Doom's biggest fear is hearing Sean C tell me he should be in prison. I don't know what the hell I'd be in prison for. I don't do shit. I'm just a fucking fat ass white bald dickhead from Philly. Goddamn.
Everyone knows the secret to success in the entertainment industry has nothing to do with making good entertainment. For every individual standout creation or talent on display, there's hundreds of productions and producers out there whose entire aim is to leech onto what's already proven to work and wring its neck for every filthy nickel that can fall out of it like a piñata of moral and creative bankruptcy.
It would burn your eyes. Again, an entire bottle of cologne for anything is crazy.
Appeasing people for profit, numbers rule the day over ever even considering any form of individual emotional response. Look at the very website I'm posting this to. No matter how obscure, interesting, or offbeat a topic a creator like myself can wrangle, it's forever going to be dominated by relatable memes, wealth masturbation, and reactionary commentary on flavor of the month topics by people that you, the audience, for some reason trust on a personal level, despite never interacting with them off camera in any capacity.
And Elsagate. Lots and lots of Elsagate. There have been so many Elsagate fucking there's been so many Elsagate situations. Oh my god. Wealth masturbation. Yeah, band for band. Motherfuckers going band for band. Gojo be on YouTube flexing the $300 bottle of Dior on a Gucci button-up. My nostrils ain't accustomed to that. So, you gotta watch it on them YouTube Johns, on them fucking wealth masturbation videos, they call them. Band for band. One more time. I love this clip. So, not the bad, the body works.
It's always you broke ass gas station tea wearing niggas that ruin the function for everybody.
Band for band there, fuck nigga.
Band for band?
Oh, what's this?
That's a whole $300 bottle of Dior slathered on a Gucci button-up. Something your broke ass nostrils ain't accustomed to. But you want to go band for band with nothing but a teak wood essence.
Oh, it's so strong.
Not the bad, the body
Get your
works.
paper!
You ain't even have to do my nigga like that.
It's all
He didn't, but he did. Yo, Elabit, been a member for almost 2 years. We so close to 2 years. Let's go. Club Doom. More like Club Fart. Oh, got him. You wouldn't have to do me like that.
And when something novel does occasionally break through, it will be digested by those same systems
Was
to
good.
regurgitate them into pale imitations of themselves, all for the sake of someone unrelated deciding how to better flatten them out for a wider audience. Most often just to put $1 in their
Oh
own
my
pocket.
god, I've heard of the AI cat stuff. That shit's fucked. Yeah, it's like, I remember hearing about it from like some Saberspark video or some shit. And it's like, bruh, this is... Why are they allowing this on YouTube? There's gotta be some kind of fucking AI moderation bot doing something about this.
Rather than any organic drive to share things with the masses. I don't mind people clipping or reacting to my how it's actually made videos.
Nah, it ain't even that slip-slop. It's a Elsagate situation where like people are mass producing shitty AI videos for kids of like AI cartoon cats, but it's like crazy shit. It's like, David the cat shits himself and gets run over by a truck and like fucking and it shows all that in graphic detail in AI. So like not only is it like horrific, but it looks like shit while also being horrific. It's some real smooth brain activity. Some real smooth brain activity.
But speeding them up and adding club music ruins the comedic timing, and I hate it. And saying all that is still putting aside the obvious fact that the entirety of make or break on YouTube and the internet at large, and by extension all of pop culture now, is dominated by entirely impersonable algorithms, meaning God knows how many refreshing concepts never even see the light of day because digital media consumption thinks most of us would most often enjoy watching things made for most people, which mostly results in crap without substance. I am not without sin, mind you. You have to be equal parts capitalist alongside artist to do what I do here as a full-time career, and I'm not an indignant idiot.
Eastside with the 2. Prepare for the 76ers crash out in 3, 2, 1. What happened? Oh no. I don't like the sound of that. Oh no! No! What? Okay, we still in the fourth quarter, chat. We still in the fourth quarter. Alright? Sixers is 313. The Atlanta Hawks is 121. Okay, we just need to somehow, some way, pull 8 or more points out of our ass in less than 33 seconds. We can do it. We can do it. I have faith. Have faith. Have faith. Yeah. No, don't say they smoked, Other Baron. Don't say, have faith. Have faith. Just a little more time. to move in a new direction. Have faith, please.
When it comes to protesting the value of a dollar, nor the incredibly lucky circumstances in which I have this lifestyle.
You gotta sing it into
So maybe it's
existence,
about time
shit.
I mentioned this video is mostly about a low-budget ripoff of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills is exactly what it sounds like. It's a piece of shit, made by creators of all sorts of kids entertainment, Deke, to capitalize on the success of the Americanized tokusatsu wave that dominated the country in the mid-90s. Speaking of being a part-time capitalist, this video is sponsored by Mint Mobile, because I'm not entirely sure that
I already have a
Eric,
phone
your
plan, and I'm
Tokusatsu is
assuming
also a
y'all
7
also
limited
already
month plan.
have a phone plan.
I've covered what tokusatsu is in much more depth in a separate video, but to quickly summarize, it's a Japanese style of television and filmmaking that relies on all sorts of stunts, miniatures, forced perspective camera work, practical effects, and full-body costumes to create dynamic action scenes with their own homegrown feel to them. Tokusatsu literally translates directly into English as special filming. I went right to left because Japanese, and it's pretty easy to spot something created under this banner when you notice it. During the decade where your PlayStation didn't have a number after its name, tokusatsu production.
Those were the days, man. Those were the days. But I literally talk about that every stream, so you probably don't need me to say that.
In Japan were bought out by Western TV studios and repackaged as American kids shows. Big Bad Beetleborgs? Well, that's just the B-Fighter series wrapped in a children's Boo Haunted House package. VR Troopers? Well, that's just Super Android Metal Dur, Dimensional Warrior Spielbahn, and Space Sheriff Scheider wrapped up in a VR package? I don't know, I never watched this shit. And the big Mighty Morphers themselves, well, they're all just different tokusatsu shows under the Super Sentai brand. And the Wikipedia page literally lists each and every Power Rangers
They don't read
iteration
right
next
to
the
left anymore? They still read vertically, I would assume, though.
Super Sentai series that it's pulling from. Now, it wasn't unique at all in the mid-90s to try to rip off and outdo the biggest television act at the time next to Seinfeld, but the subject of this video is special because it lacked a certain special something inherent to all of those other shows. What do you think happens when an American company sees the success of something made in an overseas market and decides it's not enough to pay a licensing agreement to save on overall production costs by localizing and streamlining the existing production as best as they can, but instead they need to own the entire production? What happens is Tattooed Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills, a title that I will bathe in God's infinite mercy for you by calling it Tattoo Fighters for short. Tattoo Fighters
I
is
still feel like
particularly
Alien
shitty
Fighters
and
is
crowns
better.
itself as
Alien Fighters just rolls off the tongue better, in my opinion.
the knockoff to end all knockoffs, because unlike every other tokusatsu rebrand airing in the States, Tattoo Fighters was a wholly original American production not based off of any pre-existing show. It was ripping off a format that was in turn ripping off another format that was made for an entirely different intended audience. A knockoff of something not made with you in mind. So let's review this cash-in crapshoot and see if it's really as terrible as I predict it'll be. Hey, maybe it won't be so bad. Sometimes an American studio reproducing a piece of foreign media turns out great, right?
I still remember that Godzilla movie. And no, unfortunately, I no longer own that copy of Dragon Ball Evolution. I used to have Dragon Ball Evolution on Blu-ray, but I either lost it or sold it at some point. It is gone. I don't have it. I still have Tekken Kazuya's Revenge, but I ain't got the...
Oh wait, you get that one. That one was actually okay. Yeah, you can have that one.
Classic.
Okay.
Look. He about to talk mad shit on the Alien Fighters theme song, but personally, I think it's a bop. I
am already gonna stop you right there. This name just pisses me off. They clearly wanted to be the baddest kid on the long title block built by the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but there's no hint of charm or catchiness to this one. Tattooed Teenage Alien Fighters could work, hitting a decently satisfying syllable cadence, but then they awkwardly cram in From Beverly Hills to... I don't know, remind you that they're American or something, flex their big title energy, like more words somehow means better show, which is hilarious because Japan is the country known for giving their creative works absurdly long titles.
I gotta
If you don't
remix it
believe
at
me,
some point.
just
I don't know
read the
when,
first chapter of
but I'ma
Backstabbed
remix it
in
at
a
some point.
backwater dungeon. My trusted companions tried to kill me, but thanks to the gift of an unlimited gacha, I got level 9,999 friends, and am out for revenge on my former party members and the world.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a light novel. This some light novel headassery.
And then question what the fuck you're doing with your life, because who reads that garbage? Now let's get back to my children's TV shows.
Slip Slop, you reminded, bruh, I have to rework that song. I made a song for Titan Biker Kaiju Exterminators from Down the Shore. I made a song for it, but it came out like ass. like I might publish it on Patreon for like the Marine tiers, because Marine tier gets like, behind the scenes shit and like sneak peek shit. But like that might be it because the song came out like ass. It is boring. I don't know how the hell I managed to make a song about Titan Biker Kaiju Exterminators from Down the Shore boring. I don't know how the fuck I managed to pull that off. But apparently I did, and the song is scrapped, and I'm gonna have to rework that concept for something else.
The song is awful, and the opening montage largely spoils the first episode, so we're just gonna skip it.
I'm salty at myself for that, because like I spent a whole fucking studio session on that shit, and it just came out boring, and I'm salty.
It screams, "We have Back to the Future at home," and says, "In the beginning," as if the deep, extensive Tattoo Fighters lore is gonna push little Billy's mom.
No, you can't hear it because I don't want anyone to hear it, because it's boring and it sucks, and it's a bad song in the Club Doom canon overall, in my opinion, and I'm embarrassed of it.
One more action figure at the local Toys R Us, which then transitions to a sci-fi hideout full of aliens so stupid they think two dog toys vibrating in a plastic dome is going to convincingly pass for an interesting space alien doohickey. A rejected Fallout villain sits on his throne next to a Jim Henson puppet that someone pulled out of the garbage when an alien sex slave, which I'm assuming this guy is based on how he kneels before this guy, hands the villain a piece.
He hands him a piece of broken
Piece
windshield.
of plastic. The big baddie's name is Emperor Gorganis, and that name in combination with his amazing voice almost convinces
pretty much.
me that he's
Pretty much.
actually
It's my-
kind
it's
of
my
cool
Batgirl movie.
until this happens.
What's this? You failed to kill Nimba. 40 years banishment to a living death in the stricken toil mines.
Whoa! I'm sorry, Emperor Gorganis, but when I'm nervous, I pretend like I'm caught in a riptide. Whoa! Oh, I'd hate for this to be distractingly taking up all the focus in the frame and undermining your tone-setting intro. Gorganis' plan is, he's evil. He says he wants to conquer Earth to level up his galactic empire because Earth is a portal focal point for some reason. He also sits on his throne like he just noticed his girl crush is coming and he wants to make sure she notices that his mom bought him some brand new Levi's.
Yes, Ninja Bot,
Yes.
the samurai robot.
Ninja Bot, the samurai robot, the goat.
The perfect choice to prepare the way for my domination.
Ninja Bot.
Ted comment with the 2. Have I missed the new Bridge Kids, bruh? The game store? Yeah, we watched the game store. Not tonight. We haven't watched it tonight, but we watched it like a few streams ago. I think it was like maybe might have been last Monday's stream, something like that. We did watch the new Bridge Kids a few streams ago.
The samurai robot. Wouldn't it be Ninja Bot, the ninja robot? Or Samurai Bot, the samurai robot? Ninjas and samurai aren't the same thing, man. They have similarities, but they're super different. Imagine if this guy said, "Ah, yes, Christian bot, the Jewish robot. He'll be the perfect one to teach my followers of the Quran." Also, just look at him. I mean, fucking God. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
bro's just swinging at nothing. He wants all the smoke. All the smoke.
Before we continue, I just wanted to mention that while writing
It was funny. I love Yeah, Joey, you got his ass. That was intentional. No, it wasn't.
this script, I paused here and had to take a 15-minute break because I was choking with laughter to the point of being unable to continue. But then, I also realized, why does a galactic space emperor from star systems away know what a samurai is, let alone enough to make a borderline racial stereotype version of one? And why is it his first choice to conquer the Earth when the bot's superpowers are... well, just take a look for yourself.
Did y'all catch that? Yeah, he slashes it, and what usually happens, right? What usually happens during like sword scenes like this, sword demonstrations, you know, this is when the mountain would split in half on its own and do like that cool effect, but it didn't. So he just pushes it over.
So he can shoot lightning bolts that create comically bad CGI fire overlays, and he can cut through things cleanly, but he's got to awkwardly push him over a little bit to show that he did it. Oh man, the tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills are fucked. Meanwhile, in Beverly Hills, specifically at the Cafe Maison across the street from the Wells Fargo,
they didn't have the
Pentagon
technology,
rodeo.
but you know what they do have? They have a camera that they could easily zoom in on the mountain and like try to make it work. Okay, they just had to get creative,
Near the
and they
Charles
weren't.
David shoe store. We meet one of the protagonists, Swinton, who has this excerpt in his Wikipedia character bio. Swinton is the shy, hyper-intelligent brains of the group. Unlike the other teens, he wears glasses and is African American. Oh,
Yeah, he sure does.
He does wear glasses and is African American. I see that now. Thank you, Wikipedia. Swinton's right in the middle of the thrilling excitement of being told off by his father for being an antisocial nerd.
But sometimes in life, you're going to have to learn to work with others.
Why?
Yeah, why, Dad? It's not like I'm suddenly going to be recruited into a gang of tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills and have to learn that we'll only succeed through the power of teamwork. That's stupid. You're stupid.
Swinton's dad is a photographer, journalist, I don't know. All he says is he takes photos.
He runs a newspaper,
and he shows Swinton.
We learned that later. He does run like a newspaper company.
And he got a photo of Ninjabot, the samurai robot, which is starting to make me question if they've been changing the costumes between shots, because I really want to say these are 3 totally different facial makeups, but I really can't tell if it's just because of the low fidelity of the DVD rip. You know what? I don't even give a shit anymore. Let's just move on.
Solves my problem. I won't have to work with anybody. Looks like the end of the world.
Yes, everyone's going to be killed by a giant LARPing weeaboo, and Swinton.
I know that photo is crazy.
Will be the one to prosper.
You tell me they couldn't have gotten a better photo for that?
Because if everyone dies, I won't have to do any more group projects. But then again, who will I combat in friendly games of Warcraft, orcs and humans over my dial-up modem? The possibility of someone ruining my game by picking up the telephone has been eliminated, but so too have my potential opponents. Quite the conundrum to ponder, while I also question if my father's death would even make me sad.
Swinton's dad suggests that he learn to work with other students and hands him a list of names of 3 random students from his school that he has for some reason.
Gordon Henley, Lori Foster, and Drew Vincent. Gordon's only concerned about his image. Drew's out to lunch, and Lori, she's a cheerleader.
And unlike those other teams, I wear glasses and am African American. There's no way we could get along.
Meanwhile, in Beverly Hills again, they show this shot transition again despite the fact we're already in Beverly Hills. We cut to some rich dude's house where he boldly left his Mercedes out front with the top down. And seeing how Los Angeles experienced record crime spikes in the 90s, we can assume this person won't be rich for very long. Inside, we spy the other three protagonists, Gordon, Lori, and Drew, waiting for Swinton to sprint in to work on their school science project.
Hey, I like that little Swinton to sprint in. Haha.
Can somebody give me a hand?
Oh god, I can't believe that fucking nerd needs someone to help him with the door as he carries in a completed miraculous science project for our entire group.
You know, I knew people like that in high school. That's not entirely unrealistic. Hugby's here acting like that's not something that like people actually do. Nah. There are dickheads in the world just like that. There are like, and they ain't that rare. Okay, they ain't that rare. There do exist absolute dickheads like that who don't. They just don't. I don't even know why they exist. They don't feel like they don't seem like they're happy to even exist. They feel like living and existing and breathing air and like seeing sights and hearing sound is a fucking chore. Why you even hear like shit? Know what I'm saying? Blue Bladerbot with the 10. D&D session went well. Hell fucking yeah. For those who don't know, Triple B, he was doing his last we checked in with Triple B, he was working on his first D&D session as a dungeon master, as the DM. So I'm glad to hear it went good. Aside from one person talking about seizing the means of production at one point, then again, I may have been asking for it, making my villain a CEO who makes war robots. I mean, yeah, you're always gonna have one guy who tries to derail shit or like, you know, join the villains, but that's part of the fun. That's part of the fun of D&D.
What a geekazoid, not having more than 2 arms to do both things at the same time. I'm gonna go back home to my mom with Champ.
Yo, the new JJK season looks lit. Sukuna with the fucking shades.
But my dad Machamp now and tell them what a loser this guy is. Turns out Swinton already finished the entire project on his own by building a dork machine, and the group begins bickering about it because the other three.
Okay, I kinda low-key like the title of Dork Machine. That might become a song title. Dork Machine sounds like a song title.
You're far too stupid to realize letting the nerd do the entire project himself perfectly represents the crushing adult world they'll soon be entering into.
It also represents like how the rest of the show will go because, as I've said multiple times, Swinton carries the whole fucking group. Swinton carries. Swinton solos. He practically solving most, if not all, the problems throughout this show's, like, what, 40-episode run?
Somehow, Gordon touching the dork machine in combination with Swinton spilling some extremely poorly placed and easily avoidable soda all over it causes it to rip a ghostly cum stain into existence. The moron is overly curious, the egomaniac thinks they're guaranteed an A with this, the cheerleader asks Swinton what it is, and Swinton says the device was just supposed to measure secondhand smoke in the air, so this shit makes no sense. Here's a picture of a smoke detector from the mid-90s. As you can see, the design really hasn't changed, and I imagine you've got this exact type or a very similar one in your own home. So I just have to ask you, Swinton, what the fuck is this thing? Do me a favor and close your eyes during this next part.
This is real. I think we better deal with it. So, all in favor of exploring this thing, raise your hand.
Drew leaps into the portal, which as far as she or anyone else could have known, sent her to the dimension where you're Drew leaps into the portal where, as far as she or anyone else could have known, could have sent her to the dimension where you're forced to drink diarrhea all the time. And Swinton, the smartest of the group, knows the only logical conclusion to potentially just having watched your friend die via a cosmic force drowning her in liquid feces is to immediately chase after her. The other two also join in because the plot needs to happen, and after being exposed to a free visualizer that came with Winamp, they wind up in the secondhand smoke dimension, proving Swinton's invention was secretly a success, I guess.
Gordon, it's okay. You can open your eyes. Slowly.
Oh, thank goodness I'm still in one piece.
Gonna be king of the pirates. Okay. Okay, chat. I have an idea. But it would take some time. A mixture. Okay. You know, I've always wanted to do a reaction stream series to the 4Kids dub of One Piece, because it is one of the most hilarious, like, poorly done dubs in all of history. Okay, but due to the nature of Toei Animation, my channel would probably get super mega nuked from outer space with a satellite laser if I attempted that. So what I may attempt to do is I may try to take the audio of an episode and overlay it with panels from the manga and screenshots from the dub, like, for shit like, I don't know, like the hammer gun or something. I gotta try something. Because until you actually watch the 4Kids One Piece dub, you don't know how hilarious it is. Okay, you don't know about the cooking up song. Now cook it up. You don't know about the cook it up song. Okay? You don't know. You got it, but we gonna learn. Alright? And Sanji's lollipop and, like, what the fuck else? Oh my god, so much good shit. It is so funny. It is one of the most hilariously bad dubs ever. But it's gonna take some time, because again, we can't just react to the show like normal, because Toei Animation, they don't play. Toei Animation don't play.
After a bit of quips and confusion,
read the manga on stream. Yeah, with the 4Kids dub. Just saying, with the 4Kids dub. The not guns. Yeah. You Metal Beast, you know, okay, I gotta at least show the not gun. Okay, the not an actual gun. Okay. Alright. 4Kids One Piece gun. Okay, yeah, alright. So here's the actual show. Here's the gun from the actual show, right? Right? Here, from the actual One Piece anime. Right? Here's the weapon 4Kids replaces it with. to censor it for you know, Western kid audiences. This is what the hammer gun. The hammer gun is fucking hilarious. It's just a hammer on a spring with a trigger. Yo, Willy Wonka ass gun. Willy. Yeah, they turned that John into a doohickey. For real. They did. They turned that John into a straight up doohickey, into a thingamajig, into a who's what's it.
We are finally introduced to the fact that these portal shenanigans were no.
Yo, bro, literally got the hammer on him. Yo, bro heard all these fucking rap songs about these big tough rappers, who got the hammer on them, and bro took it literally. Bro thought this was the hammer they were talking about. Bro heard a fucking, like, rap song where Cassidy or someone said, "Yo, I got my finger on the trigger of my hammer," or some shit, and he thought it was this. Again, the One Piece 4Kids dub is full of bullshit like this. It's all over the show. It is 40 to 50 some episodes of complete nonsense, and I love it, and I wish it kept going, but nah. Toei sued 4Kids to oblivion, and then One Piece officially went to Funimation for an actual dub for the actual intended audience of One Piece. And the world was a lot more boring for it. I would have loved to have like seen Blackbeard, how Blackbeard would turn out in the 4Kids dub. You kidding me? Let's see here. Triple B. I'd do an audio drama and not show anything. Ooh, that's interesting. That's an idea. But yeah, Triple B with the 10. My only notes are I'm gonna bump up battle difficulty, more puzzles, and probably gonna leave less opportunity for political discourse. May be irrelevant, but I'm the only Gen Z in the group. May backfire. Now, political discourse, do you mean like the politics within the world? Like politics within the world building, or do you just mean like politics talk in general? Because it could, the way things are, it could be either or. It could be either or. And then Triple B again with the 2. Also, for a moment, I thought it was a dildo. that shit looked like a dildo. I ain't trying to fight nobody. I ain't trying to get into a pirate fight with someone using a dildo. Okay? That shit look like a dildo.
Accident. And we're ready to meet the being who summoned them all here.
I have a name. It is Nimbar, head protector of the power portals and counselor to the galactic sentinels.
A blob. A fucking blob.
Low-key, Nimbar is kind of lame. Like, compared to shit like Zordon, okay? Compared to Zordon, Nimbar is kind of fucking lame design-wise.
A living ball of pancreatic cancer is our inspiring intergalactic leader for this series. Ladies and gentlemen, this...
Oh yeah, Triple B, that does seem like something you'd want to avoid, because fuck that. Fuck that. Y'all playing D&D to have fun.
Is our Zordon, our Master Splinter, our Professor X. This is our wise mentor character who gathers the protagonists together to either bestow them with their powers or unite them to use them for the force of good. This recent medical biopsy with the voice of a saint and the appearance of a shit gone wrong is who children are supposed to look up to as the near omniscient authority in the acts of justice and righteousness. Fact is,
Chris and Chad speaking facts though. He do make up for it in personality. Nimbar do low-key make up for it in personality.
Goddamn thing.
Nimbar's got his moments, man. He got his moments.
Computer console, yeah, I would trust that to give me good decisions, or maybe make this dude a being of pure energy. That invokes an easy mystical god complex. But this living flesh prison would probably pop into a fair bit of pus if I jabbed him hard enough with a pencil, provided I got close enough to even try it, if I'm not screaming my head off back through the portal to get away from this grotesque abomination. The 90s was the king of gross out humor, that's for sure, but this thing doesn't inspire wisdom or leadership. This thing doesn't inspire anything or anyone except reminding me to get my prostate checked every now and then. Show me.
Oh yeah, you weren't there for that, Juice Box? Yeah. Yeah, like, mind you, there's like, this is decades apart from like, from how YouTubers censoring themselves use the word regarded, right? Right? But there is a point in the show where after the alien fighters leave his base, after annoying him, he does just say to himself, regards. Like, he actually says regards. Like, it's supposed to be some alien word or something. But the way he says it's like, oh, I know what he means. Bro Bro talking like he a YouTuber censoring himself in 2026. That's what he's talking like. That's I know what he means. I heard it in the tone. I know. Tell us how you really feel, Nimbar. Tell us how you really feel. Yeah. Yeah, no, this actually happened. I don't remember which stream, because we did watch the whole show on stream. Right? Like, over the course of, like, a month or two. So I forget which stream, but I distinctly remember this happening, and it was mad funny. I was laughing my ass off.
The store that wants to stock action figures of this abomination, and I'll show you the next business to go the way of Toys R Us in both inventory and stock price. This sentient regurgitation is Nimbar, and he admits he summoned the teens to his cave on purpose to, give them powers to fight evil. It's literally the Power Rangers thing, except these guys don't have attitude or interesting personalities or anything really. But the producers of this show do certainly have corner-cutting senses, because Nimbar gives the group a look
We'll
at
probably rewatch it at some point, but like later in the year. Well, probably later in the year, like maybe a 1 year anniversary of having watched Alien Fighters. I don't know if we want to go right back to. I don't know if we want to reduce ourselves to reruns just yet. Just yet, maybe eventually. Eventually, we might make it like a summer thing. Actually, fuck waiting a whole year. We might have like a summer week where we just watch all of Alien Fighters again. Because it was a good time. I enjoyed it.
And it's the exact same footage we just saw earlier, except mirrored in what I assume is a cheap attempt to trick the home viewing audience into thinking it's entirely new material. Within 5 seconds of Nimbar explaining that 1. Gorganis is an evil butthole, 2. Earth is this galaxy's conduit of power portals, which are infinite distance teleporters like the one the kids just took, 3. Nimbar is the leader of a galaxy defense force called the Galactic Sentinels that were all wiped out by Gorganis except for Nimbar himself.
I get Triple B. I guess it depends on how comically evil and stupid Dr. Kramer is.
And 4, Nimbar's trying to defend the universe from Gorganis using Earth as a wormhole subway station. The teens rally to Nimbar's side and believe everything the kidnapping kidney stone has to tell them. I'm not too offended by this because this is a kid's show, so the pacing is of course going to be snappy, but I just fucking hate Nimbar, so I'll take any jab I can get. Swinton suggests they return to Earth to warn the military of the incoming alien invasion, and then this happens.
Your military force would be no match for his alien monsters.
Well, if you need alien fighters, why don't you get some of your galactic sentinels?
I'm currently acting. My character is supposed to be stuck up and egotistical, but my character choice to represent that is that I do that thing with my neck that chickens do and sometimes other birds.
Hugbees, you're doing too much. You're doing too much, Hugbees. Bro is trying way too hard to be nostalgia critic here. I agree. You're doing way too much. Goddamn, we get it.
Stepdad hits me a little too hard sometimes.
Us? Alien fighters? Whoa, wait a minute.
Feature that. We're teenage alien fighters.
Cut.
From Beverly
You gotta
Hills.
say the whole thing. Tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills. The
Well, they don't know about the tattoos yet.
copyright only works if you say the entire title. And hold up the action figure while you say it. If we can't earn our budget back of $28, then I've got to hide my ass out in Tijuana, and I am sick and tired of saying agua instead of water whenever the arid mesa heat fully crusts my lips over. Nimbar says that of course these kids are going to be the Galactic Sentinels. They bear the Galactic Sentinel tattoos after all, which results in this line.
May I point out, we don't have any tattoos.
Which results in me getting pissed off again, and then results in Nimbar realizing that he literally forgot to implement the very first word of his overly wordy fighting force, which results in... well, frankly, something I'm sorry I have to show you, but I had to watch it, and now you do too.
Oh yeah, the arm. Yeah, the nasty ass arm. The nasty ass arm.
Okay.
Honestly, not the grossest thing we've ever seen in a show that I've reacted to. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna show y'all the nastiest shit from a show we've ever reacted to. I'm gonna just show y'all. Alright, let's see here. Brothers Grunt. The Brothers Grunt. Yeah, yeah. This is another John that I wish we could react to, but Viacom took it down when we tried it the one time. Tried doing the whole show. It was, I'm not providing any context, chat. No context. Context was never an option. Here you go. This was on MTV, by the way. And again, context was never an option.
Okay, I'm gonna recline. Hang on. Oh, there we go. Okay. So yeah. Is Nimbar just a little alien man living inside a big ball of gloop? Is he the ball of gloop? But he's got a prosthetic little Halloween hand
early
that
90s MTV shit. You want to quick little trivia. You want to know who created this show? I want some guesses in chat. Who do you think made this show? Yeah, someone got it. Dilsey got it. Yes, sir.
This is to give out tattoos? Why is the hand so flesh-like? It's obscene and gross. Why is no one angry at the fact he's tattooing minors without their parents' express consent? Couldn't he have just given them an alien cell phone communicator or some future shit? Is that Vaseline? Is that Vaseline that he smears on with his tattoo hand? To help it heal properly afterwards? Because that's considerate. Nimbar explains the tattoos will remain hidden until he activates them, and demonstrates this by showing the audience that the tattoos are just a studio hand shining a flashlight on their arm. So at worst, the parents just have to worry if there's an unpaid intern in their house. We get to watch more of the exact footage we saw earlier in this episode, except reversed this time, as Nimbar informs the group that the first assignment for the tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills is to fight Ninjabot the samurai robot. Can you blame me for saying these full terms out loud? I just want to remind myself what I'm doing with my life as an adult in my 30s. There's also a fun editing error where the display prematurely disappears for a single frame that, as an editor myself, is something I would pause the video to point out to people if I was watching it in a group setting, because it's just a mark of carelessness that 99% of people will never notice, but I always notice this kind of shit, and I want to squeeze the low quality juice out of this television lemon as hard as I can. Anyway, in order to gain their superpowers, the teenagers have to step on Nimbar's transodiscs, which stands for Transactional Time-Space Regenerator Discs, meaning they should actually be called the discs, but whatever. The discs will imbue each of them with the memories and combat abilities of the previous galactic sentinels that they most align with, which in turn all correspond to a constellation within the Milky Way galaxy. Gordon represents the bull Taurus because he follows the rules. Drew represents the centaur because she breaks the rules. Lori represents Scorpio the scorpion because she knows which rules to choose to follow. And Swinton represents the Roman god Apollo because he creates new rules, and this just sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Low-key, it does. It sucks. It sucks.
This is our naming convention MacGuffin, and it's a pretty weak one at that. This is one of my all-time favorite tropes in media, so I'm going to cover why it sucks here in detail. You know how in a lot of series, characters are named after a group of similar things to provide immediately recognizable design elements and character traits? For example, looking at the obvious inspirations of this show, the original Power Rangers were each based off a different dinosaur. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were each named after a Renaissance artist. And we certainly don't have to stop there for examples. The Sailor Scouts and Sailor Moon were named after celestial bodies. The Gems in Steven Universe were named after minerals. And most importantly of all, the characters in Powers and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure were named after classic rock bands and songs or tarot cards.
A lot of the villains and shit from the first Evals volume is based on medical terms. Fun fact. Yeah. Fun little fact. The villains and shit and the characters are all based on and like places like Trachizis, all based on different medical terms and shit and body parts.
There's countless more examples out there you can find with just...
But only of the first volume. I ain't really keep that up in the second.
A small bit of Googling, and I would be willing to bet there's a TV Tropes page on this, but I forgot to look it up. The thing that those series capture that Tattoo Fighters doesn't grasp and inevitably comes up short on is... what do these constellations tell anybody? The benefit for theme naming is you either are immediately given information about the roster based on their name, or an idea of what they'll look like thematically, or at a bare minimum, which group they belong to within your fictional framework. If you sit down and tell me about a Dragon Ball Z character that I've never heard of before, I can immediately classify them based solely on their name. With a name related to vegetables or grains, I can identify them as a Saiyan. If it's underwear, they're most likely from the scientist family. If it's an instrument, they're a Namekian space alien. And if it's cold, they're a Frieza. It's stupid, but it's, you know, it's fun. It's Dragon Ball Z. But read again our current protagonist group. Taurus, Centaur, Scorpio, and Apollo. Okay, first of all, as far as I could research, there aren't any constellations named after Apollo. There's ones that are...
So what the fuck is even the point? What is even the point? If they're not... What you mean the naming convention here is all based on constellations except Apollo? Fuck you.
Related to him through mythology, such as the Corvus constellation, named after a mythical bird often told in stories with Apollo, but there are no direct constellations named after the guy. I suppose the connection here is Apollo is the sun god in later ancient mythology, and the sun is a star, but Nimbar said their powers come from constellations specifically, so I don't buy it. Second of all, Taurus and Centaur seem really redundant, don't they? Bulls and horses are both similar animals, especially in terms of character design usage, but then for some reason the bull is the rule follower and the half horse, half human is the rule breaker? Yes, in Greek mythology, centaurs are seen as aggressive and wild, but so are bulls in nearly every fictional depiction I can ever imagine, especially if you continue the trend with minotaurs being the most batshit aggressive Greek mythology creatures there are. They may be trying to play off the characterizations from astrology here, but remember, astrology is pure and utter bullshit, and if you leave comments about it, I will promptly ignore them. And third, why is Centaur just named Centaur and not Centaurus after the constellation? If Scorpio's named after the constellation directly and not just Scorpion, and Taurus is named after the constellation directly and not just Bull, then why isn't Centaur named Centaurus? And if it's actually for the Sagittarius constellation, which is also represented by a centaur, then why not call her Sagittarius after the constellation like you did the other two? But then again,
probably okay. I can answer that one because kids aren't gonna remember Sagittarius. Kids are not gonna be able to pronounce that, let alone remember it. Low key. Remember, it's a kids show. They wanna make it easy for the kids to understand.
Where the fuck does Apollo come from in all this? This is very confusing, and I'm probably conflating details here, but I also spent an entire day on this section of the video, and I am really tired of rewriting this script, so I'm now going to move on to my final and ultimately most important point. I understand the theme of they're fighting a star war, so you name them after clusters of stars, but Is it just me, or do these names feel really random and disconnected? You've got two animals, a mythical creature, and a Roman god. I just feel like you could have made a stronger connection.
And you have Ninja Bot, the samurai robot. Obviously the best name of all time.
Here. Why not be consistent and run with the Zodiac constellations theme? Just change Apollo to a Zodiac sign and you're golden. And if you want to go with even easier theming, just stick to the real animal signs. You've still got Aries and Leo to use for the ram and the lion. A fighting team made of a scorpion, a bull, a ram, and a lion getting their powers from the cosmic stars above sounds badass to me. You could even make the comic relief character Cancer or Pisces and make him a dumb sea creature if you wanted. Or hell, even easier, align them to the Chinese zodiac. Then you don't even have to use fancy pants names. You can call everyone things like ox, rabbit, dragon, or monkey. But then again, that's probably a really bad idea, because knowing the state of 90s kids shows and the colors given to the original Power Rangers.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, nah, terrible idea. That would not go well. Oh no,
This show rips off, they'd probably make the very unfortunate decision of having Swinton be the monkey galactic sentinel and have the group fight Chinese Zodiac Bot, the Korean robot, the perfect one to introduce the world to sushi and sumo wrestling. Nimbar rambles on about how each of them
I think there's an anime about that, Triple B. I think that is in an anime. I think there's an anime called Seven Deadly Sins where they do that. It sucks ass, though, and I wouldn't recommend it.
offers something unique to the Galactic Sentinels and then informs them that they can combine their powers to level up even further with a line straight out of a campaign rally from 1940s Germany.
Together you can form a truly powerful warrior. Trust me, I am a superior being.
The gang steps on their discs
and
shouts
Full Metal
out
Alchemist did that. Full Metal Alchemist also did that, and that's actually good.
Their Sentinel name to activate their superpowers, which is where this entire thing...
Yo, Rise, 7 deadly frames is devious. I applaud you for that. That's good. That's good. 7 deadly frames. Yeah, this...
grinds to a screeching halt.
This would take years of working out.
yeah. I don't. Gordon's costume especially sucks.
Okay, just play the clip. I know what you're all thinking.
Annihilated. You will ride eternal, shining and cruel.
Here it is. Here's your iconic superhero team. 4 sweaty, disgustingly ripped bodybuilders, posing as and voiced by in-universe 17-year-olds. It's gross. It's just gross. I don't like it. I don't think any of you out there like it. It's like if Shazam replaced magic with human growth hormone. Whether or not they're all lifting so they can ride along in the war rig all the way to Gastown, they're certainly cheaper to cram into skin-tight, color-coded athletic gimp suits with a bit of car mechanic-grade face paint to obscure their real identities than it is to rent pre-existing costumes from a Japanese storehouse. Maybe? See, I don't know if the funds required to borrow a pre-existing Japanese intellectual property would be cheaper than the 16,000 calories a day of catering these 4 need for their collective 2 minutes of screen time.
I mean, they technically don't have voice lines, though. Nah. I think Deke Entertainment was low-key cooking, though. Low-key. Okay. None of these 4, I don't think, ever talk on their own. They're always voice acted by the original cast. Know what I'm saying? So that's 4 people who appear, but they don't get paid as much for speaking. Because that's like a separate thing in like paying actors and shit, if I recall. If I remember correctly. I don't know, I could just be talking out my ass. Small boy with the 5. When I watched this, I thought he was going to show the ambiguously gay duo from SNL. That would be funny. I love the episode when the villains are just debating whether or not they are in a relationship or not. It's just like there's like the one villain I think who's like not convinced they're gay, and all the other villains in the collective are just like, really? Like, you don't see it. You don't see it at all.
But more importantly, another hot shit property running on television at the time of this dumpster fire's creation.
I don't think any of the Gordon's clone talked. Nah, I think he was still played by Gordon.
American Gladiators. For the uneducated, it was a sports competition show that pit everyday athletes against living embodiments of protein supplements. Think Ninja Warrior, except the obstacle course was replaced with a 350-pound of muscle reject from the Guns N' Roses fan club named Thunder. And it kicked ass. Unlike this show, which continues to kick my expectations of how shameless it's going to be up and down the block. There's probably references here I'm missing. Comments can let me know if there's any other prominent 90s programming this show ripped off somewhere. I mean, maybe Nimbar is supposed to be the futuristic representation of all 6 friends from Friends smashed together with their future plastic surgeries. I don't know. I just get the sinking feeling this show is somehow even less original than I'm noticing, and I miss something. You can call this engagement bait if you want, but your mother claims the same thing when I put a diamond ring on my penis, so why don't we all just calm down a little, huh? The freshly steroided schoolmate stereotypes are transported to the desert where they are immediately ready to beat the shit out of NinjaBot. And the soundtrack is immediately ready to blast me with some of the worst lyrics I have ever heard to anything ever in my entire life.
We've been transformed. Sentinels ready. Got muscles and power. We got new skills. We'll learn to use them well.
We're color-coded heroes, but we're not Power Rangers. Our jumpsuits leave very little to the imagination.
Yeah, so there's more than one reason I specified that this all comes off as gross, and a big one is these costumes are very, very revealing. And in fact, I'm really confident the producers of the show knew this. In the promo material for the show, the female models would often stick their asses and tits out, and the dudes would do the classic dong-out barrel chest hero pose. It's not uncommon for kids media to sneak in some entertainment for the parents forced to watch along in the form of adult jokes or pop culture references. And I'll admit my theory that this was all intentional also gets counteracted by the uncanny valley faces all 4 of them are making here. But regardless, there's a noticeably uncomfortable level of sleaze to this show, and I'll forever be questioning how much of it was a bold choice to really try to go out and fuck over the Power Rangers in the ratings. There's more battling and fighting, and the choreography is extremely wimpy and shitty, and then they all summon CGI weapons that fire CGI at the monster, and it also sucks. Especially when the green one summons her hook sword and fires the CGI beam out of the tiny top blade near the handle instead of the tip of the weapon where you'd expect it to come out. And it's so boring and bad that NinjaBot, the samurai robot, decides to not only fall over before he's hit by the CGI blasts. I mean, look, he does a big old wind up to get his jump maximum distance. But then in the very next shot, he's standing perfectly upright and jumps to fall down again because it sucks. It just...
No, he just got knocked down, but then got back up again. You ain't ever gonna keep him down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You ain't ever gonna keep me down.
Sucks. It just really sucks. The tattoo fighters do the honorable thing of shooting the guy while he's down a couple times to make sure he's dead, and Gorganis watches the entire thing on his own monitor that flips the footage for some reason. Getting pissed that the stupid sexy
I think they're all... I know they're all in high school. Like, all the characters, all 4 of the alien fighters are in high school. Never... I don't think their ages are ever explicitly said or stated, but it's pretty safe to assume that they all 17. And yeah, this show's got weird moments. This show's got some crazy moments with that in mind.
Have returned and are kicking his bargain bin Bushido Brute's butt. We then get the classic Super Sentai trope of the main villain giving a power boost to the monster to make it exponentially stronger, which leaves the audience asking, well, why didn't he just do that from the beginning? But I can ignore it because the fun factor of drawing the
Oh yeah,
battle
the
out
dream
longer is
episode.
immediately
The
sucked
dream episode was insane. The dream episode was
away by
fucking crazy.
Ninjabot returning to his feet by just reversing the footage. Look, it's one thing to save costs by recycling already shot content from another country and
Chooks, it wasn't kinky. Well, it may have started as kinky. It eventually became hinky at one point. I remember the later episodes, Drew starts saying hinky with a H. It was really weird. I don't remember if she like started saying it like that, or if she just added the H like at some point throughout the season. It was weird.
Rescripting it to fit a new narrative, but it's another to save costs by constantly reusing your own footage we just saw like 2 minutes ago. When I visit your buffet, offer me a variety of options I haven't seen before and I won't be too picky about the quality. Try to convince me to vomit my meal back up so I can taste it again, and I'm calling the manager.
Oh yeah, the actors and actresses were all like in their mid-20s, if I remember, from like the articles and shit I've read.
Ninjabot the same.
But it's still crazy that it's still crazy that the writers would write some of the shit that they put in this show, regardless.
Samurai robot zaps away the Sentinel's weapons, so they decide to also do the thing they should have done from the very beginning and combine their powers to form Nitron.
Nitron.
First off, ow. That editing was very obnoxious, and I don't appreciate this show trying to hurt me. Second of all, I don't understand these symbols. We have Scorpio and Taurus on the bottom. It's pretty self-explanatory. But then we have the arrow symbol that represents Sagittarius, since the sign is often represented by both an archer and centaur, meaning centaur does in fact represent Sagittarius and not Centaurus, which throws a whole new string of confusion into my paragraph ranting earlier about their names, especially because Sagittarius typically refers to a specific centaur from Greek mythology.
Yeah, Hugbees, I don't know how to feel about Hugbees, honestly, as a commentator. We've watched one of his other videos before, and I swear he wasn't this, like, try-hard in the first video we've seen of his. I forget what show he reviewed, but I remember we did watch a Hugbees video in the past, and he did not come off as try-hard in said video.
Mythology, who was known to be a wise teacher, which sounds to me like the opposite of a rule breaker that they made Drew out to be. But then there's that pesky symbol over there in the yellow. I'm gonna put a big YouTube arrow on it, a big red YouTube arrow. This symbol here is Aquarius. You know, the zodiac sign represented by the water bearer. Now, what's a water bearer, you might ask? Well, it's a symbol so important and prevalent in modern culture that if you Google the phrase water bearer, all you ever get is results related to astrology and nothing else. There's different stories and myths to explain what the title means, but the most commonly accepted one is that it's someone designated to collect water and fill cups for those who need it, meaning the role's symbolism lies in providing cohesion, support, and harmony to the community, which to me sounds like people in denial, unable to accept their birthday means that they'll forever be stuck as ignorable background workers for the rest of their lives. You want to circle back to convincing me that astrology isn't bullshit? Fine, let's say I believe you. I'm a Scorpio. I am forever destined to be more interesting, charismatic, and successful than you'll ever be. Sorry, folks, it's just what the lonely bloggers tell me is true. Now fill my water cup and get the fuck out of my sight. But no, wait, hey, come back. Wait, come here. Aquarius, come here.
I'm just Josh. I'm just kidding.
What
JK.
does this have to do with Apollo? Apollo in early Greek and Roman mythology was the god of light, music, healing, and a myriad of other related things. As time went on, he also became conflated with Helios, the god.
Also, it is not that deep. It is not this deep, bro. It's a shit. It's a shitty Power Rangers ripoff. It ain't that deep. Okay? They just threw a bunch of shit together, a bunch of costumes, a bunch of words in a script, a bunch of whatever the fuck, and they fucking made it and then like had an early lunch
out of the sun until his modern day
dragging.
mythological interpretation became that he was the one who rode a golden chariot across the sky to drag the sun along with it. And as far as I can tell, the man never bared a single drop of water in his entire goddamn life. Apollo has nothing to do with Aquarius. Aquarius has nothing to do with Apollo. Why is the scorching bright sun dude given the symbol of people whose signature catchphrase is, can I get you anything to drink while you look at the menu? All you had to do is draw a sun. That's it. You just draw a sun right there. It's so easy. Look, here's one I drew in MS Paint for you. And it's better than this shit. You know, speaking of which, this looks awfully similar to the logo for my second channel, Hugby's Gamer Mode. The link's in the description. Remember, if you don't watch it every single day, your parents are going to get a divorce and it's all your fault. That's
Ha, joke's on you. Oh.
Probably not true, but do you really want to risk it? Here's a clip. A spy camera while crouch running. He's got a camera.
Well, I think this is just a plug.
Look, the point is, the marketing team came up with their superhero brandings within 5 minutes of throwing a dartboard at anything Star related, and it really shows the level of desperate cash grab this entire production was. Now we can move on. Jesus Christ, that was lame. When the Power Rangers want to take the battle to a new scale, they summon their loyal dinosaur mechs who come charging like cavalry into battle, and then epically merge into one giant kick-ass Voltron robot. Here, the ill-fitting symbols just kind of Photoshop themselves into a guy who seemingly has nothing to do with any of this. I just ranted for palpable minutes about how unrelated all of this shit is, and now a medieval knight from the Renaissance fair wearing Judge Dredd's helmet is our final form? What the fuck is going on anymore?
Sir Deadass. Have y'all seen Sir Deadass? This is like a meme that's been coming out of New York recently. Sir Deadass. I love Sir Deadass. Apparently someone was going around and wearing this through the fucking, like, snowstorms in New York. It's a fucking knight helmet with the Yankee logo in it. Oh my god. I fucking love Sir Deadass. Sir Deadass is great. Hold up. I saw it. Someone drew fan art too. Where's the Sir Deadass fan art? There it is. There it is. Oh my god. Okay, that goes hard. This go hard. This is fucking hard. This is dope.
Even funnier that he's named Nitron in a clear ripoff of Voltron, letting us add another tick to the "you can copy my homework, but make sure you change it" counter. They start fighting and it sucks so bad they drop this line.
Use Mega Caliber. It's the most powerful sword in the universe.
You get it? Mega Caliber. It's like Excalibur, but it's mega. Nothing bestows the wonder of an artifact's magical power like a talking teratoma blindly shouting to you, the audience, about how special it is. If this was ironic, I'd love it, but they're trying to convince kids this is cool, and even 10-year-old me would have been smart enough to know there's no passion behind this speedy production, only hopes of a stock price boost.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it aired on the USA Network. It aired on the USA Network on their kids block. How many kids were actually watching the USA Network kids block back in the 90s? Like, let's keep it real. Let's keep it a hundo. Like, it had Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm and Street Fighter and like the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. So there were probably some kids that watched it, but I don't know. I just don't see that shit having a big viewer base. Know what I'm saying? I just don't see it. Oh, the Nebula Sword would have been a cool name.
Okay, well, that's the end of him. I guess.
He went away.
Nitron celebrates
He
in front of
fucked up.
stock footage of volcanoes, paint splatters, and starfields on a green screen that actually unironically looks completely worse than my green screen that I'm using right now. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and outdo him right now in something I can whip together in 5 minutes. Here we go. The heroes return to base and are hype as fuck that they all just ended the life of a most likely sentient being while being combined into a single organism sharing one mind, meaning all of them know what the others masturbate to now. And Nimbar warns them that they have to keep their identities a secret or bad stuff will happen and blah blah blah. There's only 3 minutes left. We're almost done. We're almost done. The group portals back home, which is just them walking through a hole in the back of the set with a portal laid over it. When we cut to Gorganis explaining that he's got plenty more aliens to fight and he can also rebuild and reprogram Ninjabot to be even more deadly.
Yeah, and then that's what my biggest gripe with the show. That leads to my biggest gripe in the show, which is how much they reuse the same monsters. It is low-key kind of lame that we did not get, like, a lot of new monsters. Like, how many times did they fight Voldic? How many times? Or Isolina, or whatever the fuck her name was. The fucking ice monster. How many times? So many times.
And he's holding some stuff in his hands while he explains that fact. I don't know what they are, but they just keep falling out of his palms while he talks, and then he spills them all over the floor, so why the hell was he holding them to begin with? Is it pieces of Ninjabot? How did he get those? The dude was vaporized into nothing, and Gorganis never left his base. Why am I still questioning any of this shit anymore? Meanwhile, in Beverly Hills, specifically at the Cafe Maison across the street from the Wells Fargo Bank on Rodeo Drive, Swinton's now hanging out with his project partners. And Swinton's dad shows up and offers to buy everyone lunch because of how he likes their new camaraderie, because it's the only bit of character growth anyone in the cast experienced this entire episode. They discuss that despite all 4 of them now understanding what it's like to own a penis thanks to Nitron, none of them consider each other friends yet, and are going to maintain distance from one another to help hide their secret identities. Their tattoos flash, and everyone tells Swinton's dad to go fuck himself. It's time to save the world. And I'm gonna leave you with the exact moment that the show ends because it catapults me perfectly into my wrap-up points.
Hey, duty calls.
Right. Yeah. After all, we are the tattooed teenage alien fighters
From Beverly Hills.
I would call this show a dime a dozen, but that would be overcharging. The biggest failure of this show, and I mean bigger than any other glaring issue it has, is that if you aired this exact thing on Saturday Night Live or Mad TV, no one would be able to tell the difference. The grotesque
Even bigger failure, all we ever got was a lunchbox. These type of shows are made to sell toys and merchandise and action figures, and they only ever made a lunchbox. The fuck was even the point? Yeah, there was only ever a lunchbox. That's it. There were no action figures of the Sentinels or the monsters. There were no posters of Gorganis. There was never a Fentbird body pillow. None of that. We never got any of that. Just the lunchbox. We only got a lunchbox. So at that point, it makes you think, what the fuck was even, like, why we even make the show? Why did they even make the shit?
Sweaty alter
What's the
egos
point?
played by different actors in borderline sexual costumes, the mismatched bird puppet sidekick alongside the grim dark main villain, the absolutely awful and boring stunt choreography, a questionably racist monster of the week, the special effects made on the school Mac computer that looks like this, the cliche is all fuck full name title drop smashing into the end credits, the overacting coming from the most painfully generic protagonist roster you can imagine, and the list goes on. I cannot tell if this show was parody, homage, or made with full sincerity. And for
If I remember correctly, because we did watch another video essay about this show, if I remember correctly, this show was made out of spite. It was made out of spite because there was some tension between the higher-ups at Deke Entertainment like corporate over at Deke Entertainment had like some tension between them, and one of the guys like greenlit this show to spite someone else. I don't know. It was a really weird story about corporate politics. But basically what I'm saying is the show wasn't made to sell merchandise since there was no merchandise. I think it was made just to piss someone off.
For your show trying to compete with the hottest show on the market, that's a really, really bad idea, especially if an after goal is to push out toy and merch lines. I don't know about you, but nothing I saw in this show is anything that I'd ever wear on a t-shirt, except if it was a shirt that I could have made right now that said Ninjabot, the samurai robot, with a picture of him on it, because I'm still laughing at that. Time and time again, it's been proven that entertainment outweighs people's principles. No matter how often subscription models and prices change, content is removed, and censorship runs rampant, 99% of the viewing audience isn't going to change their viewing habits because it's just not something they care enough about to fight for. Which means entertainment companies will take each and every avenue they can to milk us for every dollar they can find, and cheap knockoffs are one way for them to do so. But the difference between manipulating the distribution system and trying to take someone else's spotlight is that you have to have at least something going for you to get people to tune in. I am happy to announce that although tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills ran for an astonishingly too long 40-episode season, the show received terrible ratings and was never renewed beyond that. If you want to watch the entire show, and I mean the entire show,
like
the
we
whole
did.
thing's DVD rip has been uploaded to the Internet Archive, and as far as I can tell, there's no copyright claims around it because I don't think anyone cares about it anymore. But if my video gets it shut down and pulled off due to inflated traffic, I apologize. But then again, who's gonna give a shit either way? And if that does happen, I'll link another video of mine in the comments talking about Masked Rider, which was when the same company that brought Power Rangers to America tried to bring equally popular Japanese tokusatsu show Kamen Rider to the American market. It didn't go well.
Now I've got you! So much for him. Let's find the others.
Maybe it's ironic that this show will be largely forgotten with time in a way equivalent to this very video, as it'll be largely forgotten by the internet thanks to its shrinking attention span and ever-growing content library. And there's no bigger meaning to me discussing this TV show, no poignant takeaway, no message to leave my audience. And yet, there's one very, very important difference between the two. I give a shit. I care about the entertainment I deliver to you. After all, I am Hugbees on YouTube.com reviewing the tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills.
Alien fighters. Ooh, that's something we might have to check out. Oh my god, Earthworm Jim 3D was so... Earthworm Jim, just as an IP, is one of the most disappointing thing. It's one of the most disheartening things ever. Because it had such potential, and it had 2 goated games. And then all it took was one bad game, interplay, never knowing what the fuck to do with it, and Doug TeNapel being, well, Doug. Doug being Doug. Update on Doug, by the way, because we have done some streams on Doug and how he's kind of unhinged. He's on Twitter commenting about the Iran situation. It's it is just as upsetting as you think it would be. It is, yes, the Earthworm Jim guy got shit to say about the Iran situation, and it is, and if you familiar with the guy, it is just as upsetting as you're assuming it is. Get Blanca. We need Blanca. Yeah, we do need Blanca. We do need Blanca. Hold up. I'm gonna just click on this and let it ride a bit, just so I have it in my history and we can go back to it.
90s.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. That should be enough to...
really saw an intense rise in the video.
There we go. That should be enough to get it in my history, so that way we can watch it later. All right. I forgot about that. Sir Deadass. All right. So, let's see here. This is... Okay, so we want to... I definitely want to finish this. We were specifically at, not combat, attacks. We were at attacks. Okay. We were at attacks for this. And then Sean C. The Sean C shit is okay. That left out right. That left off right where we need it to. Good shit. All right, let's get these going. Yeah, we gonna learn how attacks work, chat. In D&D 5th edition. So in the event I ever do a D&D session stream, I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Ass wiping supplies.
Attacks.
This section is where you throw in all your various flavors of stabs. If you have a weapon or attack of some kind, you write it in here and refer to it during combat. Say it's a sword and shield. Yes, both. You would write down the name of the weapon.
Oh, actually, bingo bango. Creator of Courage the Cowardly Dog is either a crypto guy or an AI guy or both. Actually, that might not be entirely true. I heard somewhere that his account got hacked. That his accounts got hacked by crypto bros. So we might not actually have John R. Dilworth being a annoying crypto AI douchebag. That might actually not be a thing. It might just be crypto bros snatching his shit. It could be. Don't quote me on that, but I've heard that theory floating around.
Weapon here, then next to it is the attack bonus, aka how accurate your weapon is. No, not the damage. This number is determined by your strength modifier for most weapons, unless it's a ranged weapon like a bow, in which case
Well, that's
you
the
use your
thing.
dex
Fucking annoying crypto grifters are always hacking people's shit. It's the like at this point, it's the only way to get people to like even remotely pay attention to crypto now that NFTs effectively ruined like the crypto market for the foreseeable future. Because after NFTs, nobody want to fucking deal with fucking crypto no more.
mod instead. Or if it
So
has
now
the
that's
finesse
the only
property,
way they
which
can
allows
go
you to
about
pick
their
either.
shit.
On top of that,
to
if you're
get,
proficient
like,
with that weapon, you can add that good old bonus to it too.
But how do you know if
notoriety.
you're proficient with a weapon?
Let's put a peen in that. Alternatively, if it's a spell attack like Eldritch, your attack bonus becomes your spellcasting ability modifier. Let's take a bard for instance, which is the slut stat plus your proficiency bonus. Whenever you roll a d20 to see if your attack lands, you get to add this number to the total. Alternatively, if it's a spell or special item like a bunch of ball bearings thrown in attempts to recreate Home Alone that requires the enemy to make a saving throw, you can put the saving throw and difficulty class there instead.
But how do you know what that number is?
We're gonna put a peen in that too, shut up. Once you have that
There's a lot
number,
of
to the right
pins.
of it is the damage roll, aka how aggressively you're going to introduce the enemy's face to your sword. This is included in the description of whatever weapon or spell you are using. Whether it be a light jab at their insecurities, a proverbial pounding in pornographic proportions, or 8d6 fire damage in a 20-foot radius, just fireball! Most weapons also include your strength modifier to the damage, unless once again it's a ranged weapon which uses dexterity or a finesse weapon which uses either. The difference being that you don't add your proficiency bonus to this roll unless something says otherwise, and most spells don't add any additional modifiers unless their wall of text explicitly says so. And lastly, make sure you include what kind of damage you're dealing so your DM can know that your psychic damaging vicious mockery won't do much against a revenant because their self-esteem is already in the grave. To recap, when you attack, roll a d20, add this number which is these, then if you hit the enemy's AC, you roll these and add this number which is this.
Spellcasting.
We're gonna take a
All
little...
right. I will try to remember that for next time I play D&D sometime in the probably not near future.
break from the main sheet to look at this sheet that has a list of all your accomplishments. Oh, look at that, it's blank. This is the spell sheet. If you're playing a character that's capable of casting spells, then you're gonna take a gander over to this sheet whenever you cast them. Up here at the top, you can put your spell casting class in case you're absurd and tend to forget which spells go where, your casting ability, which will depend on the class, your spell save difficulty class, and your spell attack bonus. So hey, remember that peen we put in for spells in your attacks? Well, it's time to unpucker that sucker, because here it is, the spell save difficulty class, also known as DC. This is referred to whenever you cast a spell that requires the enemy to make a saving throw. And how this is calculated is 8 plus your cast mod plus your pof bone. Once you've got all that figured out, the rest of the sheet is for keeping track of all your spells and slots. You write down the spells you have for each level, how many slots you have total, as well as a...
He said bone.
expended and if you have the spell prepared or not. Note, only certain casting capable classes apply. Please refer to the player handbook or any other supplementary book regarding your class to find information on what methods you have to go about obtaining and preparing spells.
I think last time I
Unsure of what
played
spell slots
D&D,
are
I
because
think
your
I
brain's
was a
too smooth,
vampire
well,
or
sit the
something.
shit back, dit you get, and listen up. The weakest level of spells are called cantrips, or sometimes level 0 if you don't care about hurting their feelings, and they can be cast as many times a day as you want. First level spells and upwards, however, require a resource called spell slots to be cast, or else you'll have to find out the hard way that casting Thunderwave without having your beauty sleep will make the life or death battle with the Underlord of Darkness a lot less epic and a lot more smelling like last night's kebabs. And if the name spell slot makes things too confusing for you, you can use my personal preferred name for them, Mage Bullets. How many Mage Bullets you have per spell level and how you recover them is determined by your specific class and level. So just like 99% of this entirely redundant video, if you want more information, it's best to read the parking himbo. And keep track of your goddamn slots. Because if you don't and just so happen to be able to cast 5 mage hands a day under section 3, chapter 1, paragraph 12 of the Code of Gelatinous Noobs, the DM has full rights to eat your dice.
Characteristics.
After looking in the mirror and taking some serious self-reflection after the apocalyptic chasm of the divide of the fanbase that was 4th edition of D&D, Wizards of the Coast started to take into consideration for the next version of D&D what gameplay features they wanted to invite to future parties and what gameplay features they needed to take out back and tell to think about the pretty space butterflies. One such old yeller victim was the Virgin alignment chart being completely overshadowed by the Chad personal characteristics, each one being a useful tool to remind you of your character's interests, motivations, shortcomings, and sexual fantasies. You never know if you're going to end up having to fuck your way out of a problem, so it helps to be prepared and know exactly what position would be the most in character. Personality traits are the broad strokes of your character. Likes, dislikes, interests, manners, whether or not they think something's a soup or a salad. Ideals are their drive, their principles, and what they vote for during election time. Or if they don't care about voting at all and prefer to stay home to catch a once-in-a-lifetime live marathon rerun of Animal Planet's The Most Extreme. Bonds are personal attachments and experiences they've had. It could be a good friend, a fond memory.
When did The Most Extreme come out? I don't remember that show. I don't remember that.
Or your favorite glow-in-the-dark bouncy ball that always seemed to bounce a little bit weirder than all the other ones. And lastly, flaws, which 99% of the players don't actually understand and will probably put something inconsequential, like clumsy. Not me, though, because I'm flawless and perfect. Oh, you don't think so? Well, could a person with weaknesses do this?
All of this other shit.
Now remember that peen we put in wondering how you know what weapons you're proficient with? That goes down here, by the way, and that, along with basically every other section we've yet to cover, can be figured out in this next part, which is what I like to call the copying it over from the book section of the character creation, because that's basically all you do for the rest of the sheet.
Yeah!
Check a background, check the player handbook. What proficiencies do I get? Check the player handbook. What about feats and traits? Check the player handbook. What's my starting equipment? Check the player
handbook.
Another supplementary book relevant to your chosen race, class, background, a la Volo's Guide, Xanathar's Guide, Eberron Rising, etc. And with all that done, congratulations, you now have a completed and fully functioning character sheet, ready to be used once, then completely lost, then found again once you've already redone a second one, or if you're lucky, one that will be used consistently over the course of several years to the point where there's more eraser skid marks than pencil lead, and the once firm sheet of paper turning as soft as a tissue person's dick after seeing you in the shower. Now you know how to use a character sheet. You're
Yay!
welcome. Hey, you kind of forgot to write your backstory. Fuck!
Yeah. Also with the two, actual D&D channel that reviewed Doug's Chat D&D. Wait, actual D&D channel that reviewed Doug's Chat D&D. Am I tripping? There's is that a recommend? I don't know that. I don't know why I'm so confused by this. Oh, who is? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I'm sorry. Listen, what's the name of that channel? Is that an actual channel? Are you talking about this channel? Oh, Magic the Noah. Okay. Okay, I haven't heard of him. Esau with the two. Doom's George Michael impression doomed the Sixers. Why you gotta be so mean? But yeah, the Sixers did lose. 116 to 125. Just another one of those days. Just another one of those days. Oh, at least we don't have to hear too slimy rap because we heard that last time.
The end goal. And then their shit is just like, no, this is it. And what are we doing? You know, at that point. Like, it don't have to.
Well, okay, so a little bit.
And this how I know labels be money hungry. I actually think Dog might be independent. I don't know. I could be wrong, you know. But I would imagine if somebody, like, signed this, that you don't give a fuck about, like, the process of how shit go. It's just like, damn, let me just Because how do you make this last? How do you make this last? This cannot last. Man, this about to be some bullshit. Another default dude. I ain't never seen a Mexican nigga with neck braids.
I'm a mogul, I invest in women, Proxy next to Finn. It feel like I'm the best up in my fucking class, yeah, I admit it. I'm so hungry, stomach spinning, my music bumping, drums are hitting. Like the ocean tides are shifting. No, it's my time, I've been sprinting. No, I'm not like other niggas, and my bitch not other women. Bitch on my dick, on my mama, I might slap a bitch. Bitch on the knees. Calm capping, I could teach you how to joke, but joking niggas is a passion. 2020 vision, as a kid, I wanna.
I mean, I respect the vision. I respect the vision. He's switching it up. Switching it up mid-verse. I can respect it. I can respect it. And he's trying with the wordplay. Sean don't look impressed though. Sean don't look impressed in the slightest.
Why does he keep doing that fade in shit? Or that fade out shit? And now it's just distorted. Like now it's just noise. Ouija board raps. Underwater raps. Going too fast on I-96 raps. Music too loud raps. Clipping raps.
Clip rap. Underground sound. Yeah, it definitely sound like it's from the underground. Definitely with how it's mixed.
What do you say? Not doomed? I feel a little hopeless. I say that though. I feel a little bit like, yeah, nah, maybe we.
Yeah, I'll check it out a listen.
Thing is, right? We just heard the On the Rap Radar freestyles too, and the crazy part is not that much better.
Keep it underground. Yeah, never dig that shit up.
I know you might be thinking about that in comparison and be like, Sean, you being facetious. But as far as what I would listen to, out of everything that I heard, nobody moving the needle. I know niggas gonna say you tripping, right? I know niggas gonna say that. But at the same time, it's like, dog, if I could really sit back and think, like when I ask like for unique, some of them are like literally taking from already existing like styles. Like we got Young Nudie impersonations at some point. We got Lil B impression with like a Soulja Boy aesthetic at one point. We got default raps, from other lanes and other styles that already exist. Then we got Too Slimy, who comes in is literally just like, yo, I'm about to disrespect everything as far as foundational music is concerned. Like I literally just don't know how bro exists for real. I don't know how you develop a fan base making music like that.
I don't either. I don't get it. It's probably just like, my guess is it's a bunch of Zoomers and Gen Alphers who just be like, yo, I want loud, obnoxious, anti-music to piss my parents off with. That's what it come off like to me. They want to piss their parents off with anti-music, with loud, abrasive anti-music, but they don't want to listen to any like. Oh, they just want to listen to some bullshit. It's just listening to some bullshit for the sake of bullshits. For the sake of bullshit. Eastside with the 2. Shout out Max Crosby getting traded to the Ravens. I never seen someone celebrate getting traded just to be crushed by the Steelers and Bengals twice. Damn. Damn, Crosby. Damn. That's rough.
And I genuinely question whoever's listening to you, because are they listening to you?
See, Eastside with the 2. The audience was those Roblox kids from the first guy. Yeah, probably. Like, I get a lot of from what I can tell, a lot of Gen Alpha-ers are just, like, so obnoxious and jaded and, like, broken from this nihilistic, hyper-capitalist world that they just kind of, everything has to be anti. Everything has to be over the top. Everything has to be distorted and in your face. It's like, basically, like, so colorful that you can't process all the colors. So loud that you can't process the sound.
From like a POV of irony? Like, is it ironic fans? Or is it like genuine, I'm paying for the show, I'm popping out with me and my friends type shit? It's not just Mexicans. It's not. I swear to God, it's not. It's just not. It's just not that. With the exception of, what bro name? Marlon, forgot the last name. I still haven't checked out bro music. But, like, it was a couple people on there where I'm like, you know what? No, I could feel something like that out of this. Like, I feel people that got potential, but as far as, like, moving the needle, I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing it. And when I see that when I see that Spotify list where they're like pretend shouting out the next generation of rap leaders.
Oh, I heard about that. We're gonna have to look into that. I don't know much. All I know is that I've seen people in group chats like talk about it, and it's unanimous. Unanimously, everyone has said it's cringe. Everyone said it's cringe. And it's like, well, it is Spotify, so I'm not.
When really it's just like, let's acknowledge the people that have already been on for the last 5 or 6 years anyway, so we can keep having like some type of monopoly in the hip-hop space and keep profiting off of the artists that are selling well right now that aren't necessarily the big three, but you know, they're already mega stars at this point. We can't really get much utility out of them or make much money off of them in the same way that we would have been able to. Let's get ahead of the curve and jump on the artists that are already selling well right now and pretend as if they're breaking new ground, or if people are just now hearing about them. And you know, it makes me fear for the future. Like, what's going on next? What's about to happen next? Who's gonna be the next thing? I kind of have the same question as Spotify, but more so from the point of view of like, who's gonna have the biggest monopoly over the genre, and that's kind of like my fear.
You saw with the two. It could be worse. The Nets beat the Pistons somehow. Damn. The Nets. Shit, I forgot they existed.
Moving forward, Jid tough, but the flag bearer, no. And I love Jid, you know. Jid, my issue with Jid, I think more so, isn't even that, like, he has basically everything that you would need to have on paper. I think Jid's time is past. And that's really my biggest thing. Like, he's always going to have talent. He's always going to be an amazing rapper. But I've been listening to Jid since 2017. Genuinely. And I don't think that he, as far as like the hip hop leader, is gonna be in a space. I feel like what is it? God Does Like Ugly would have been one of his last chances to be that guy. And the album, I don't think, translated with the level of expectation that people may have had for it. And so I don't think him doing the same thing is gonna be the same level of, I don't think it's gonna translate well either. 8 years is the limit for y'all TikTok brains. Do you realize how long 8 years is? Are you dumb? You're actually being obtuse for no fucking reason. Jid has had, I don't know, DiCaprio 2, The Never Story, The Forever Story, God Does Like Ugly, a bunch of features in between. And I'm not saying that people don't know his name, but he's had enough time to be considered one of the next hip-hop leaders, and there are people that are passing him up like Baby Keem. I'm not saying that Jid and Baby Keem make the same type of music, but as far as having the level of influence that you would need in order to be one of those next guys after J. Cole, Drake, or Kendrick Lamar, he's not. His time, the allotted time slot is gone.
Also, that and like, music, especially in hip-hop, is so fragmented right now. I don't think we're ever gonna see a big three like Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole ever again, if not for a long time. Like a long-ass time. It's gonna take a few years and a lot of change in the industry for there to, for the, how do I put it? It's gonna take a lot of time for us to, like, have the right music ecosystem for a next big three. For, like, rap superstars of that caliber. I think the closest we have at this point is Playboy Cardi. And I don't even like Playboy Cardi. I don't even like him.
It's, that don't exist anymore. And I think a part of that issue was J. Cole for not featuring Jid more, not platforming him more, not pushing him out there more. He was a Dreamville artist, or is. I feel like he could have done.
Yeah, why wasn't Jid on the fall off? I don't recall Jid being on the fall off.
Done way more to help propel his career, but he didn't do that. You're looking at this from just a skill perspective, and you need more than that. Kendrick has done such a good job of platforming Baby Keem that it's not even funny. And I'm not saying Baby Keem didn't do the work, but I'm saying, like, as far as ushering in who I want.
Why the disrespect on Cardi? Because I ain't like Whole Lotta Red. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with y'all. Whole Lotta Red had a lot of good concepts, but were not thoroughly fleshed out. As a result, rage music ended up being more of a early 2020s fad genre than anything else. It is not going to last the decade. Unless something, like, big happens, rage is going to be a 2020s fad genre. Because Whole Lotta Red, low-key, sounds like a bunch of unfinished reference tracks recorded by someone who had COVID in the booth. I'ma say it. Bro sounded... I hate Cardi's performance on Whole Lotta Red. Whole John sound like he got COVID in the booth. He's whisper screaming. Bro sound like he recording, trying not to... Bro sound like he got friends over way too late at night to record that, John. Like, at 3 in the morning, and he, like, whisper scream rapping as to not wake his parents up and get in trouble. That's what it sounded like to me. I could not get into it. And I will never forgive Jump Out the House for not having kick drums. I'm sorry, but you telling me you got a song called Jump Out the House with some heavy 808 bass with no kick. No kick at all, just droning bass. What the hell is the force that's supposed to be launching my ass out the house? The droning bass by itself ain't gonna do it. I need some kind of oomph. The song is supposed to launch me out the house as if it's forcing me to jump out the house. It can't do that without no kick. It can't do that without no kick.
Sign, we know, damn, this nigga is in there. Drake does a horrible job of ushering in new talent. A horrible job. J. Cole looked as if he was doing the right thing at one point, but where's Boz? Where's Kaz? Ari Lennox has her story, and Kaz actually has his story too. I can't say I'm not that I have to keep it on the low or nothing like that, but Kaz already has his explanation of things. Jid could have gotten way more support. That's the problem. So you can pretend as much as you want and be like 8 years as TikTok brain. Almost a decade is a very fucking long time in the music industry, and I'm not even counting where Earth Gang was. I'm not even counting the Spillage Village days. I'm not even counting that.
You think in the next 5 to 10 years?
Esau with the 2. I Am Music was the rap version of the Tool debate. I Am Music was not worth the 5-year wait. I'll say that. I Am Music felt like a mixtape. I Am Music felt like an Atlanta tribute mixtape. Way too many of them Johns just sounded like Future. Way too many times I heard who I thought was Future, and it turned out to be Cardi doing a Future impression.
Years there's
way
gonna
too
be
many
Drake,
times.
Kendrick, Cole type person that'll make noise in the industry like they did.
What the? No, but to be fair, we don't consume music in that way either. We can't have that level of success again because of the way we consume music. And that's why I think it was incredibly weird and just kind of evil for Spotify to put out that who's going to be the next leader in hip hop when you niggas are contributing to the exact reason why we can't have that next big star in hip hop.
I mean, he's spitting facts. Spotify's business model and the weird shit they've been doing for years, like, really, like, it fucked up the music industry more than Napster could have ever dreamed to. Okay. People was worried that Napster and LimeWire would fuck up the music industry forever. That's nothing. That's nothing compared to what Spotify has done.
Also,
that ain't shit.
That we would have had died. X is dead. Juice WRLD's dead. Pop Smoke is dead. You know what I'm saying? Other guys that could have been like on the, we don't need to go to this route for it, but are better than some of the mainstream acts. Nipsey died. You know what I'm saying? Who else passed away? I forget bro name. Mac Miller. I mean, there were people that were having a rise in popularity of substantial effect, and they passed. I like to think as like I try to be like more forward thinking and shit like that, but I can't really say.
From what I've heard of Doechii, I can see Doechii in that position. You know, gonna need some more certified classics under her belt, but I see the potential.
That I'm willing to. There have to be so many conscious inconveniences that you're willing to go through in order for you to create a space where art is the biggest priority, and that comes at the consumer's expense. Not to say that we don't live in a society where corporations won't try to interfere with your ability to interact with the music in a more organic way, or just interact with art in a more organic way so that they can have a level of use. But if it means that much to you, it will end up happening. But even somebody like me that can acknowledge all of these things hasn't gotten rid of like streaming services. And I don't think it's feasible. If I want to have access to everything at the drop of a dime, be able to even tell niggas about new shit that I might be listening to or being put onto, I damn near have to use streaming services. Now, when I find people that I do like, I will go out of my way to support them. Especially if they got like independent releases or they're not on a label, especially. All right, boom, you got Bandcamp, I'm going to buy your shit from here. You got merchandise and you smaller act, boom, I could buy a t-shirt, I could buy an album, I could buy a CD, I could buy a vinyl, I could buy this, I could buy that. That's okay. But you can funnel your resources to people that you really fuck with. Because there are still some artists, not to say that you being able to get access.
And there's resources, chat. There's mad resources. I've been told people that like there are ways to self-publish your own CDs, your own vinyls, your own cassettes, your own merch, your own books. Like there's, and like these resources been around since like 2005. Like we are not as limited as like as the industry tries to make it out. We are not as limited as people think.
Access to whatever music you want to at the drop of a dime is okay, but there are still some artists that make bullshit. There are some artists, we just went through a whole underground cipher full of niggas that I feel like are CIA raps. It's CIA raps to a T, damn near. Like distraction niggas. Like I literally can look at this and be on some Soul Illuminati shit and be like, yeah, nah, these niggas sell chicken sandwiches in their free time. They do. This can't be real. Like, you gotta look at some of it like that. So I don't think that streaming doesn't have its place, even though I don't think it should exist. But at the same time, I'm also like, all right, we can use this for good. We can. There you go, Mossad agents. Some of these niggas is Mossad agents. You gotta say it. Those were Mossad agents, bro. IDF reps. Those were Mossad agents. It is what it is.
Oh, man. You got a point. I know I said I wanted to go a little later tonight, chat, but I do got a thing like first thing in the morning at like 8. I do. I really do. And I'm really not looking forward to getting up in the morning. And we had the 2-hour mark. I think I'm gonna leave it at that. I think we got the. It's the chicken talking. But yeah. I think I'm gonna leave it at that for tonight. Because we got through the things I wanted to get through, which is dope. And then I think tomorrow's stream, more Super Mario Bros. Z, more Woolen Warriors, more Vampires, more Mystic Knights, and and if we can fit it in, I am so down for Hood Jujutsu Kaisen. Hood Jujutsu Kaisen is so much fun. Band for band? Yeah, and the D&D recommendation, the Noah guy, we'll look into that. Yeah, all that shit. Yeah, we got a lot of good stuff on the queue, chat. So be sure to stop by tomorrow, 8 o'clock, Eastern Standard. Alright. If you ain't heard Smoke Sessions 3 Sides yet, it's on Spotify, it's on Bandcamp, it's on YouTube Music, it's on streaming services, it's on all that good shit. So be sure to peep that. Okay, there's some good songs on there. People apparently been liking Stack Up and Graduation. Alright. And yeah, I'll catch y'all later. I'll catch y'all certified goats later. You have a good one. Sweet nectar.